forgotten highway. In the vast expanse of Montana, where towns were separated by miles of emptiness, there existed a stretch of road known to locals as Whispering Hollow Highway. It wasn't marked on any map, but truckers spoke of it in hushed tones over late-night coffee stops. Hannah Carter, a photojournalist chasing stories about American ghost towns, had heard of the road from a grizzled old man in a diner. "You want to find real ghost stories?" he'd asked, his eyes glassy with something between fear and whiskey. "Drive the hollow after midnight, but don't stop. No matter what you see, no matter who you hear calling, you don't stop." The challenge intrigued her. She dismissed the man's warning as small-town superstition. That evening, armed with her camera and a determination to capture eerie shots, Hannah found the unmarked dirt path that led to Whispering Hollow. Her GPS went dead as soon as she turned onto the road. The highway stretched endlessly ahead, flanked by towering pines that seemed to lean inward, their gnarled branches clawing at the sky. At first, it was silent. No sound of crickets, no rustle of leaves, just the crunch of gravel beneath her tires. Then, the whispers began. At first, it sounded like the wind, a faint murmuring that rose and fell. But soon, it grew distinct. Words, voices, child's laughter floated from the darkness. "Help me," a man's voice groaned from the shadows. Hannah's fingers tightened on the steering wheel. She told herself it was her imagination. But then, she saw him. A man, bloodied and staggering, stumbled into the middle of the road, his arms outstretched. His face was obscured by matted hair, but his posture screamed desperation. Hannah slammed on the brakes, her car screeching to a halt. The man approached the driver's side window, but something about his movements was off, jerky, like a puppet on strings. "Help me," he whispered again, but his mouth didn't move. Her heart hammered. She remembered the old man's warning. "Don't stop." Hannah hit the gas, swerving around the figure. As her car sped past, she glanced in the rearview mirror. The man was gone. The whispers grew louder, overlapping, chaotic. Her headlights flickered, and the trees on either side of the road seemed to shimmer, as though they weren't real. Ahead, the road bent sharply, revealing a wooden bridge. Standing on the bridge was a woman in a tattered white dress, her hair cascading over her face. She lifted a hand, beckoning. Hannah swerved around her too, but the woman's face snapped upward, revealing empty eye sockets. The car's radio crackled to life. Static. Then the voices. "Hannah, why did you leave us?" Her breath caught. It was her brother's voice, soft and accusing. He'd died years ago in a car crash, on a road much like this one. The whispers turned to screams, and suddenly, the road beneath her vanished. Her car plummeted into darkness. When Hannah's car was found days later, it was rusted and covered in moss, as though it had been abandoned for decades. Locals claimed Whispering Hollow had taken another soul, but her camera was missing. Weeks later, a hiker found it on the side of the road. When the police developed the film, the photos showed a pale, wide-eyed Hannah staring into the lens with the empty forest behind her. Except, in the final photo, the forest wasn't empty. It was filled with hundreds of shadowy figures, their hollow eyes all staring at her. And at the bottom of the last photo was a single, scrawled message. "Now, she belongs to us."